Recording. Cool. I'm just gonna start going, and I'll record this. Oh, I was like, I thought my computer had frozen for a second. Nobody else was moving, and I was like,
I'll sway back and forth for you.
thanks. I should actually, maybe I'll make Mark the host just in case anybody else joins.
Sounds good.
So yeah, I just wanted to do these workshops just to kind of go over some of the simple things or not so simple things that we go over in, we kind of touch on in the, I keep thinking integration, but it's implementation, that's the word. So we touch on it in implementation, but we never really go over it. So I just wanted to spend some time playing around with some of the aspects of Aspen. The first one I wanted to do is CSS because we have some really cool CSS that some of the partners have used. And also I really like CSS. So I was kind of playing around with mine. This is my training site that I kind of use to change up themes, play with things in case I break anything. It's not going to hurt anybody but myself. So first of all, I wanted to show the places where there is CSS. So I'm in themes currently, and if you scroll down under some of this other customization stuff, you'll see this additional CSS box. Which is usually something that we skip over. I think in my themes video, I skipped over it because I was like, you can add additional CSS here. And then you can also similarly do that in locations. Let's see. Yeah, so in locations, there's also a CSS box. Wait, is it yeah, basic display. There's additional CSS up here also. And then there is CSS in some of the local catalog enrichment. So collection spotlights and placards. Just gonna open up tons of tabs. The collection spotlight one, I wasn't really doing anything in here just because I think this one might be a little beyond me. I'd love to see if anybody else has some anything that they've done for this, because I feel like that could be really cool. I just haven't really had a chance to play around with it. Mostly I've been playing around with placards and the themes. In the themes, one of the things that I was doing was, this is like my favorite. It's okay, so it's a little goofy. Let's see. I was doing a web kit to round out the edges and then some opacity. I was just kind of playing with some of these. I did a little image background to see if I could do that in the header. And so when I was doing that, I got like a little image up here. I would have to kind of figure out maybe getting a different logo up here with a transparent background. And then I'd have to switch up this lettering, which I was kind of trying to do, but I think that, oh, I just got a message that said James is in a different meeting right now. But I was going to show you some of his CSS or Jenny Ellis's CSS here in a second. Anyways, so I was just doing like inspect elements over here just to kind of get where some of these like images and code would go. So I was really just playing around like the horizontal menu bar wrapper. So that's the one that I used for this. And that's how I got this like rounded edge, which I think is really fun. I was thinking of maybe doing that on this top one. I'd have to look into that more because I feel like if I rounded out this edges, this is a section right here. So I think that it would just be like bubble, bubble, bubble down. But we'll see. I wanted to play around with that more. I like this little bubble search bar though. That just makes me happy. And then I was thinking of doing something on the sides here as a static image when I'm doing like scrolling. But I couldn't really figure out, like, I feel like that would be body, but didn't know exactly which section that would be. I was kind of looking through it. Anyways, that's kind of just some of the stuff I was doing. If anybody knows, actually, I would love to know that. I spend a lot of time when I'm doing CSS, I spend a lot of time like, you know, does this work? Is this where this goes? Typing in something and then be like, nope, I'm rounding out the wrong area. So if anybody does know that, ping me in Slack. I would love to know more about it. Some of these people using CSS is just so beyond my abilities. Mine's very basic, as you can see. I can understand it, but I still need to learn some of the different things. I like to like change colors and stuff, but that's already in the customization. So that's like not super useful. Even though some people have changed that. So that's what I was going to show. Let's see. I think in Nashville. So I love this code. This just makes me so happy. I like that the notes are like written out really clearly. But as you can see, like the header, they've changed system messages. A couple other libraries have done this also. And then the background color. And this was a bug. So I think that that could probably, you know, it doesn't necessarily need to be there because I know that Mark changed that. So now we can change the header wrapper background color. For some reason, like a while back, that wasn't working. So that was this one. But I've been playing around with it lately and it's definitely working. Not with the image in there, but. And so yeah, they've changed kind of like the system message stuff. They changed the browse categories. So this was really cool. I like that they've switched it up. I had kind of wondered about this. They have their browse categories kind of a different size than usual. So they've switched that up. And yeah, the margins and the font and stuff like that. And then changing the background color as well. Yeah, but I'm super impressed by people who can do the CSS like this, where it's just like, they know exactly where to go for it. For me, it takes a while to get there. And then they've also changed like the modal for the browse categories. So that it's like bigger. Which is cool. So this is the kind of stuff that you can do in the themes. You can change up, you know, a lot of the like different aspects of Aspen. And then, so what Arlington has done, and this code is like amazing. I love it. I'm just totally geeking out about everybody else's code. And he's got pretty good notes in here too. So I have this, which I can share in the Aspen Slack in the Placards channel. This is code that Jonathan from Arlington has sent me. And he's got like notes in here and everything of how to get the placards to change. So if you guys have seen the Arlington placards before, what was that one? because he's got it so the CSS in the themes make the placards a certain way, look a certain way. And then in the placard itself, you can change the CSS really lightly. You can change like the color to specifically be for that placard. All the devils are here. So he's got it set up so that it's a certain size. So it's a minimum of 310 pixels for height. And so you can like put the image in and then it will look kind of like this. So at Washoe, they've actually used his placard CSS. And then, so if you search for events in Washoe, they've got a similar thing. So they're kind of using his same placard CSS. I think that looks so beautiful. I think it looks great. So the way that that's being changed is in themes. So he has this whole, this is for APL, this is messages, alerts, here's the placard. So this is where it starts. So they've got like the padding and the weight and all that great stuff. And so I'll share this in the Aspen Placards channel. Actually, I can do that now because it's really easy. If you guys want to look at that. So he's changing that here. And then when you go into the placard, you'll go up into source. And then he's got this code that you can put in for the HTML. And then all you have to do is change the title and then the text down here and not touch anything else. And then that'll show the title and the text and then the more button. And then he's got like a little CSS. So down here, all you really have to do is change like the background color. And then you have to make sure that you're putting the placard number in there. So what I was doing, let's see. Hey, somebody else is here. So putting in, hey, James. Adding this to my dainty little code. And then going into the placard and creating a new one, and then so he's got it really nice. So like all you have to do is kind of put in like what he already has there. So that looks good. And then adding the CSS that he had, I think that I put in a specific one. No, that's not it. So, and then, so the specific CSS for the placards is down here. Hopefully this works. Cool, so now we're back. I need to add some trigger words. I'm just gonna do a quick one for now. Let's see, oh, and then I always forget to select the libraries.
I would like to spend just a second to acknowledge that trigger word has a different set of connotations in a different realm. And yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I mean, all right, so the recording has started now, and I just, in the recording want to acknowledge, hey, we just got Zoom bombed with something that was particularly disturbing. Hey, I would say, Emily and Mark, if you guys want to step out for a bigger break, I'm fine doing that.
Yeah, I mean, that was terrible. That was absolutely like worst case scenario. But also I just like coding. So
Okay.
Might as well just get right back into it. I wasn't really looking because I knew what was happening. So I kind of assumed that it was going to be something terrible. So, but yeah, I will edit that out. So if you guys are watching the recording, there'll probably be some big break in between the previous part of this and then this part of this. But placards, CSS, the good stuff in life. Yeah, so I let's see. I wanted to do a background color of, I thought I had put this in my notes because I was using a specific background color. So if you guys don't know this W3 page, I love it for colors. This W3 CSS colors, you can just go on and like really quickly pick up the colors. I know some people who do CSS are like, they can just pull out the color a lot easier. But I kind of need a little sheet for it.
Give me a total blast to the past, back in the day when lynda.com with its little grid of website colors was something that I visited at least once a week.
Yeah.
1996, 7.
I know. It looks really like old school to me too. Like I remember this from when, so I used to do like coding with my dad. My dad's a computer programmer and I used to do coding and stuff with him back when I was like 13. So this is the kind of stuff that I used to like go through. And then I'd make my MySpace page look really awesome, like a background image. So I'm going to use deep sky blue for now. I think that that's different than my image, but that's fine. So let's see. Now when I search backpacking there, yeah, so if you just change, I'd also need to change the more button color. But all you have to do is really change that background color and then change like the button color, maybe the text color, and put in an image. And then you have this beautiful placard that's just kind of like the Arlington placards. And you have to make sure that the size is at least 310 for the way that they have it in their themes. They've got like min, height in one of these. Yeah, I think that this is the one that's going to be doing it for the media. Because if you don't, what I noticed last time was that there would be like a little bit of color underneath the image. So that's really cool. I'm really thankful for Jonathan for sharing that. I thought that was really awesome and pretty easy to implement. So it's pretty easy to like get that into your placards, which was really cool. Yeah, I kind of got knocked off my rhythm there a little bit. But if you guys wanted to, I don't know if anybody here had any CSS they wanted to show. It looked like Chris was here, but it looks like he didn't come back in. Um,
I sent him a message to see if he wants to rejoin, but we'll see.
yeah. Well, and that was just like, you know, first time doing my discovery workshop, and but yeah, so the other library that's done some cool theming stuff is Salina. So they also kind of were working on their browse categories here. They've got like a different background and stuff, and they've changed up their font a little bit. I think no, their moto box is still the same. But yeah, so there's a lot of cool stuff that you can do with the CSS, and there's a lot of different places that you can put it, just to kind of like customize your browser. I think that the Placards one is probably the most useful. Also, I think the collection spotlight one would be really cool. I just, my level of CSS is like not to the point where I really was able to find anything that, because it's a custom CSS file. So I'm not so certain on how to get a style sheet file that I would be able to put here. That's going to be like a URL. Yeah, that one I'm just kind of uncertain about. So there is a place for it. So I'd like to see if anybody does end up doing that.
Yeah, and so we have that set in collection spotlights in Nashville to, point to a particular thing, because we've done a lot. Or
oh yeah,
Jenny Ellis has done a lot to, and I guess Mark did a lot back in the day to theme or to configure with those.
yeah. Do you mind if I look at one of them?
Not at all. It's not my work, first of all. Credit where credit is due.
Yeah.
And so currently we have it pointed to this server that we call Bucket, because it's got a bunch of stuff in it.
So do you know where this one is being displayed? Is that in
Yeah, so if you go to the library homepage at library. Yeah, if you click on right there and then scroll down. So new materials right there. That is an Aspen collection spotlight that has been modified with CSS. It's the tabbed version, and so we've got 5 tabs running there.
That's cool. I need to look at your site more.
And then we have a lot of these one cover collection spotlights that are used in blog entries primarily. And so if you go there, it might have like 5 or 6 titles that it would talk about, each with a single shot collection spotlight. Oh no, it looks like that's one where the half C didn't make it back.
Mm-hmm. That's cool.
Yeah, this is amazing. Good work.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll have to ping Jenny Ellis, just see kind of more. So she does a lot of like the CSS stuff.
So the CSS for these was mostly done years ago.
Oh, okay.
And so I think Mark had his hand in it as well. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I know that I did not have my hand in it at all.
I think Jenny mostly did it. So
okay. Yeah, I'll ping her and see kind of what she says.
Yeah.
That's cool. I like how your homepage is like, let's see. I like that it's hard to tell like from the homepage to the catalog. Like, I was like, are you using Web Builder for any of these?
No, It's a Drupal site that powers lots of different content.
Yeah.
Stuff, lots of different properties.
Well, and I think about like some of the libraries that come from Pika, like the bright orange button. And I imagine there's a way that you could do that with like, a style sheet also.
Yeah. Yeah. And that happens to be one of our institution colors. Right?
Yeah.
It's in our logo.
Cool.
And it is a very different orange than the orange that is 180 miles east of us at the University of Tennessee, Knoxville.
I do like this. I think it's fun to like the little things that make it, more personal. Yeah. Chris, did you have anything to add? Or were you just kind of looking, watching?
I'm just along for the ride, getting some ideas, and I'm going to pilfer some of them and making notes.
Yeah. Yeah, I was having a lot of fun just with like the basic stuff. I didn't know, what level everyone was going to be here at. This, I obviously have to change this, background image, something here, but I'm going to play around with this a lot more. I need to change this color. Yeah, I kind of wanted to see like what all I could do here maybe, but this is just stuff that I'm going to be working on over time. So if you guys ever want to take a look at what I'm doing, just to kind of get, an idea, my page that I fiddle around with is aspen-train1.bywatersolutions.com. You can't really sign into it. There's not a lot of login for it, but you can see kind of some of the stuff I'm doing. I'm going to be adding some more theming stuff, just kind of playing around with it. So I'd like to work on this section a little bit, because after seeing what they've done at like Nashville and Salina, I'd like to kind of, see what I can do here. Even though I like the colors that I've chosen. Maybe doing something with the modal box would be fun. So yeah, I'm just going to keep playing around with it. If you guys have any ideas or anything, or, if you want to share anything with me that I can share with everybody else, just go ahead and ping me in Slack. Yeah. I don't know. Was there anything else that you guys wanted to see? Any,
So yeah, you opening the question in an open-ended kind of way makes me think about this thing that I've had. It's not necessarily a good thing. This is not something I am emotionally invested in, but a CSSE related thing that I would kind of like to see, because we don't use a lot of well, anyway, I would like to see a halo or mandorla or overlays or something like that, with icons indicating the format types available in a particular grouped work. And so that over the cover, you would see like ebook icon, e-audiobook icon, and stuff like that to help, make that apparent, from the first view.
yeah. On when you're in browse, is that like in here?
Yeah. Or even in the grouped work record, like, that, yes, the text is all over there to the right, but just covering the cover so that I could no longer see the cover, but I would know what formats it's in. That's not a good idea.
Or like, button something. Yeah. I was just trying to think of how I could do that with like CSS.
Yeah. Well,
That's
first,
just
first would be
yeah.
the icon selection. Like what does how does an audiobook differ from, the icon? Anyway,
Yeah.
you asked an open-ended question, and yeah.
Yeah, well, so that's what I wanted to do with these workshops, just because I'm hoping that next time maybe, some people will see the video and they'll see that there's not really a strict guideline of what's going on here. I kind of wanted just to like chat and play around with it and get some ideas from other people, share ideas that I have found. I think that this is fun. I think that Aspen is so customizable, and then being able to like, there's like, I saw those CSS boxes and it was just kind of like, we're passing by them. And then I was like, oh my God, you can like further customize it, depending on like your skill. That's so cool. So
yeah, two other things that I would like with cover stuff, and that is vaguely CSS-y and definitely cover related, is so every year since 40 has been the year that, oh my goodness, I can't believe my eyesight is getting this bad, and and this is like far worse than any other previous year. Like, I can't read the titles on a lot of the covers, and just can't see what they are anymore. Like Hunger Games, I can get that, Catching Fire, but even The Lightning Thief there, I had a little problem scanning. There is the way to, I think that there is the way to produce the title below the cover,
right,
as a checkbox. And so, that would be one thing to do.
I'm trying to remember how to do that.
But the other thing, I would just like to be able to zoom in on the covers.
Cover, maybe if it like gets bigger or something like that. I feel like that's something that I could not code in any way.
Well, I mean, part of it
like
is
a zoom from your mouse or something.
But also, so like I think Amazon has a like hover over to enlarge, within the particular record.
Yeah.
And for us, like one of the big problems there is getting a source of high res images.
Yeah.
Like Syndetics doesn't, their images are, I think, hit or miss for how high res they get. But yeah, like at this resolution, at that size, I can't tell what's going on in that picture. Maybe it's like a Dutch master painting that we're looking at. I have no idea. A blue figure, and I don't know. I got nothing.
I feel like there's a way, like an accessibility thing.
Oh, okay.
That you can do.
Gotcha.
I'm trying to remember, and I'm wondering if there's a way that you could like put a little button that's like, or something that's like, make this, give me a zoom or something like that you could put on your mouse.
That would definitely be worth me looking into.
Well, it'd be so useful. There was a library in the community I used to live in, and the people who use the library is like, it's like 80%. I'm not going to say what that age is, just in case I'm wrong. But yeah, there's like a lot of older people, and they were actually saying they were interested in Aspen Discovery because the catalog they're using now is just like pretty much all of their older patrons are coming up and they're like, I can't use this. There's just no way I can use this.
Yep. I very much remember, oh geez, what year is that? 2009? What's the iPhone debut year?
Oh, I don't even know.
The 2008, 2009. It's later than I think that it is. I know that much. But that year, like my friend Keifel has worked for Apple for a long time, worked in retail. And, was shocked at like how many folks were coming in there to, spend many, many, many hundreds of dollars on a phone because the buttons were bigger.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Well, that'd be interesting. That's an interesting thing. I'm definitely going to look more into like what I can do with like basic coding. I know that having Mark here is good because he's like, I know his gears are turning and he's like, what can I develop? But yeah, I like that. I like the idea of like, what do your patrons need the most? Like, what are they going to need the most? And how would I make this most accessible to them? But also, making things pretty. I want to change the opacity on this image too. That's something that I think I'm going to do. I want to see if would anybody know this? I'm trying to find like this site. I know you can add images to like this like side area, but I don't know if that's maybe just not on Aspen, if this isn't a place that you can put anything.
You'd have to set a background image on the body. Or
I was playing around with some of these things and I could not figure out why my code wasn't working, and it was because I was playing around in the dark theme instead of the default theme. I was like, I can't do anything with CSS apparently. Isn't it a completely different theme? Which is like pretty standard for me when I'm coding stuff. But I'll if you guys are interested, just keep an eye on this one. I'm definitely going to be playing around with it more. Oh, here we go. That's where I'm going to change that text color, I'm guessing.
Emily?
Yeah.
So what's the schedule of these workshops so that I don't mess this up again?
No problem. They're and I was kind of just testing the waters with this one. I think I'm going to do monthly, and probably like monthly towards the end of the month.
Okay.
Let's see. Yeah, like second to last week. Because I wanted to do the lunch and learn like after releases, which are usually, it's going to be like a 2-week in between. Yeah, so it'll be like lunch and learn, and then like 2 weeks later, probably like a discovery workshop. And those might end up focusing on some of the things that was released in the previous, if we go over like a new feature, then there's a good chance that the discovery workshop is going to center around kind of like that new feature if there's a lot of work that can be done around it.
All right, but we should be looking out on the Slack channel for the announcement of the next one.
Yeah, so it'll be probably in the Slack channel. Like I'm starting to question if we'll be putting it in, we're gonna have to talk to like Cal and stuff like that, kind of what we're gonna be doing moving forward with these, and with our meetings in general.
Okay.
I mean, like that was bad, but it's, it's not like an Aspen gathering where there was like 20 of us here, Yeah. Well, I'm kind of done. If you guys have no more questions, I don't mind cutting out early.
This was good. You handled that well too.
Oh, thanks. On the inside, I'm still freaking out, but
now learned you can message everybody in the waiting room to figure out who they are.
Yeah.
Downside with having large community. But
I know. And I was
you
like,
can at least say identify which library you were with. if they
yeah. And I
recognize it.
saw their names and I was like, I don't recognize those names, but
Yeah.
it didn't connect,
I was confused by the masks. I was like, oh, okay, they're at home, but okay.
My bad. Sorry. But yeah, I'm curious.
I
where they
should have
got-
known when they like wrote on my screen because I was like, I don't have a whiteboard up. So what they were doing is they were,
testing.
Yep. Yeah. And so I don't know if yeah, whatever. Hey, so a little self-help trick that I learned a couple of weeks ago, that, following moments of stress, it's really good to let your body just like let it out with like shaking or, freaking out and stuff like that. So like now that the stressor is actually gone, just to go ahead and
yeah, I'm probably gonna hop off here for a little while and go do something else for an hour or so.
Sounds good. I think I'll get on my bicycle. It's beautiful in Tennessee right now.
It was so gorgeous this morning. It was like blue skies, beautiful, and then the clouds rolled in, which is fine. All right, well, I will see you guys later.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Thank
See you later.